Welcome to your 7th JOGL tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to be switching from the spinning cube with just one texture to a spinning cube with multiple texture filters with lighting. So this is going to be a little bit transition. We're going to be doing a little bit adjustment to the code. So first thing, in our old code, what we need to do is we need to change this to an int texture to an int array list. New int array list. The size, I'm just going to use 3 for now, because we're going to have 3 different filters. So now this is going to be the new code. There we go. Okay. So we have the new code, and the new code is going to be, first we're going to do 3 float array lists. I'm just going to copy and paste them in because the values are really just arbitrary numbers. The important thing is the name. We have light ambient, light diffuse, and light position. So, like, the names are arbitrary, again, but the values are just random. So, try and do this. Okay, but now you should have paused the tutorial and copied all this stuff. This is really just basic. I'm just declaring an int filter. I'm just setting stuff up now. That makes it a little easier. This is all like the cosmetic stuff. Now, we're also going to be doing key bindings this tutorial, so this is going to be a really lengthy tutorial. So we're going to have float, we're going to have x speed, y speed. Now, speed. Now, for the sake of the tutorial, I'm not going to do z speed. You're going to, though, when you're done with this tutorial, you're going to be doing this for homework. Yes, I'm assigning you homework. I'm assigning you to do a new variable called z-speed and program it with a key binding. So difficult. Not really, but you should understand how key bindings work. So it should literally take you 3 seconds. So I'm created a boolean now. L-E-A-N. I can spell the reserve word right. Okay, so now we have everything down here. We're getting an error. We're going to change this to a texture array list at index filter. So whatever we set the filter to is going to be the texture that is being drawn, applied to the cube. Now, we're also here. This is going to become texture 0 in a second. But what we need to do up here, I already have the image loaded. It's a crate. I'll have a link to the direct PNG file, so you can just download it. Or you can just download any Nehe tutorial and get the image that way from the data folder. I just changed the image there. Now I'm going to set this to 0. Now, important to note that we have to remember in Java it's line right execution, so order of that we call methods matter. This is really important right now because I actually had these in the incorrect order, and I was wondering why this whole tutorial wasn't working. So let's not make that mistake and spend like 30 or so minutes trying to figure out what our mistake is. So we're going to call GL text param, and it's going to be RI. And 3 variables, GL2 dot GL underscore texture underscore 2D. Now the next parameter is going to be GL2 dot GL underscore texture underscore mag underscore filter. And the last parameter is going to be GL2 dot GL underscore nearest. Now we're getting an error. RI. I had a V right here. Should be RI. There we go. That's the problem with using the auto-generated stuff. If you hit the wrong one. Because we want this one actually. There we go. Okay. So now, actually, I'm just going to realize this is pretty much the same thing. I'm just going to copy this. GL we have to do is change this one. Sorry about that. Dim in. There we go. Let's save some time. Okay, now the last part is going to be, we're going to do GL bind. .gl bind texture GL2.gl underscore duty dex texture at index 0. There we go. Hopefully it won't make a mistake. Okay. Nope. So I'm just going to copy all this, and then I'm going to paste it. Paste. So I pasted it 2 times. Change the numbers from 0, index 1, index 2. Now we need also Java syntax, because we already declared variable t, we can just remove texture. So now we have everything all right. Now we just need to change a couple of these. All we have to do is change the endings, actually. I'm going to change it to GL underscore linear. Wait, GL underscore LIN. Ugh, I can't spell today. Well, actually, I can spell any day, but there we go. You'll get it right eventually. So now we're setting it to linear. So where you have GL2 nearest, GL linear. This one's going to also be GL linear. Last one. And last one is going to be GL linear. Oh, oops. And this one's going to be GL2 dot GL underscore linear underscore map underscore nearest. There we go. So now everything is right. We're all good with the textures. Now it's time for lighting. Lighting is actually going to be really easy. Because it's pretty much the same code and we just change it. So it's going to be gl.gl light fv. First parameter is going to be gl2.gl underscore light 1. And then we're going to do gl2.gl underscore ambient. We're going to do this dot light ambient, and I'm going to do another parameter of 0. Okay, so now I'm just going to copy this 2 other times. So we have our ambient. You should be able to guess what the next 2 are going to be, because we made the array lists. So the next one's going to be diffuse, and the last one's going to be position. Light diffuse and light position. Light position. Now we just need to change this to GL diffuse and GL position. And that's pretty much it. We just have to do GL dot enable gl2.gl underscore we have to enable light 1. We also needed to enable GL lighting. So you have light 1 and lighting enabled. There we go. Everything's enabled. Let me just double check up top to make sure we have everything enabled up here. Correct. We have textures enabled. So everything that is enabled is enabled. Okay. Now, let's make up top. We didn't initialize light, so we should initialize light in the ini. We could have set that equal to true, or let's reshape. What we can do is we can do this dot light equals true. Okay. Now key bindings. Now it's time for fun. So this F1 is going to be our is full screen. So pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Okay, and then I'm going to do another thing in blue. So I'm going to copy in between. Okay, so we're going to have y speed increase, y speed decrease, up, down, left, right, F, L. Okay, so pretty much what I did is I just copied the same amount of code. As you can see, it looks kind of confusing now because it's all the same. So we're going to change this. First thing we need to do is do up. Make sure up is capitalized, otherwise it won't work, because we're actually referencing the up action on the keyboard. So if you don't have an up key, don't do up. You can actually set it to anything. I'm using up just for the sake of using up. If you want, you can use S80 if you're a gamer. So this will just control the rotation speeds over the X and Y axis. So down, 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 left. Whoa, I'm gonna say actually, because these are all gonna be the same. Okay, left, and then we're gonna change this to right. As you can see, this isn't probably the most fun thing to do, and it's very time consuming. Left, right, and then we have F. Actually, I can just delete the 1. This is going to be for our filter. Then we're going to have L for lighting. With the letter keys, they don't really, capitalization doesn't really matter, except for here, there it does matter. Okay, so that's all of our keys. Now we need to delete the full screen action, otherwise every button we press is going to make it full screen, which isn't what we want. Okay, so up, what is up going to do? Well, we got to think about this. Up can either be the x-axis or the y-axis. Or if you want to be fancy and make it the z-axis, you can, but I'm not showing that in this tutorial. So, let's see what I want to do. Let's make it x. I say up will be x. Sorry about that. So now we need to call this render, because it's a render. So as you can see up here, when we created this final render R, that's why we have that there. So it's just going to be R, and this is going to be x speed, and then we're going to do plus equals 0.1f. I'm just going to copy this, and then down is just going to be, we're just going to change this to a minus, and then left, we're just going to change this to y. As you can see, little shortcuts. I'm going to change this to a y and a minus. Y, minus. Okay. So now F, what is F going to do? F is going to do the filter. Let's see how I want to do this. If okay, so R is going. So each time we press it, it will increase by 1. And the filter, if it's greater than 2, which is the size of our thing, actually, really what we should do, if R is greater than or equal to R dot, actually greater than R dot, filter dot, wait, no, that's, we need the sure. Sorry, I'm making this correct. Dot length minus 1. There we go. That's actually the correct way of doing it. So we have a filter per texture, which is correct. We decremented the increment because size where it returns 3, and filter is actually the index position. So that's why. That's our little check. You could also do an or if it's less than. I'm not going to because filter should never be a negative number now. Anyways, so that. So with L is going to be light. So this is going to be if light is true, make it false. If it's false, make it true. Now I could have also done this another way, but whatever. This is easier. Okay, so now all the key bindings are set. Let's run it. Oh, cool. The lighting works. Now I'm going to disable lighting. Let's see. Hit the L key. And I'm going to stop it because I don't think the L key is working. Hold on a second. Let's capitalize L. Shouldn't matter, but sometimes it does. Let's see. No, the L key isn't working. Oh, I know why. We never programmed the code for it. My bad. I didn't mix something. Okay, inside of here, we're gonna need to write some text. Okay, so we have the filter. After the filter, if light GL dot GL enable GL2 dot GL underscore lighting. Now I'm just going to copy this, and then we're going to do else. We're going to switch enable to disable. Oh, dis. There we go. Now I'm going to rerun it and see if it works. So we're either going to be enabling the light or disabling it. There we go. Well, we know the texture is working. I'm hitting the F key. The texture isn't loading. Hold on a second. Let's go back. See what I did wrong. 1, 2. So now let's rerun it. And everything should be working. So now, if you hit L, see, as you can see, the quality is slightly changing between the different renderings. So we'll get like this. Here, I'll make it a little bit bigger. So we get like this gritty, a little bit better. The best looking rendering, in my opinion. And you get back. They're very subtle differences. So, actually, the best way probably is if I show you how to make an FPS counter. You can actually notice FPS drops and gains. But have fun playing with this. In our next tutorial, we're actually going to be doing something a little bit more cool. Well, I wouldn't call this not cool. I mean, you can adjust the rotations using the keyboard. I mean, see, I'm hitting up, down, left, right. I'm hitting L. This stuff's interesting. But in our next one, we're actually going to be doing, let's see. Let me pull up the thing and show you. We're actually doing what's called blending. So we're going to be making this sort of cube-looking object. We're going to be making it transparent. I enjoy it, so hopefully